Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Now for something completely different. Now you heard some chemical facts this morning, and I want to talk to you in my presentation about some software and IT topics. Now, my topic is Digitalization and Industry 4.0. My name is Mike Bach. I'm the CEO of Prisma GmbH. We are a software company near to Weilburg. It's about 60 kilometers in the north of Frankfurt. Maybe somebody of you know the Weilburger Coatings. It's a coatings industries client of us there in Weilburg. And yeah, these are two buzzwords you know for a few weeks, few months, few years. And I want to ask you, why is it so relevant? And there's one short question, and I hope to clarify this, one short answer, and I hope to clarify this answer a little bit today, because it's never been that easy. And to understand this, I want to take you back to a short travel through history, and let's have a look to the digital storage evolution in the past years and the expectation of 2020. We want to store 40,000 exabytes of data, and to have imagination what this amount is about. This is 8,000 times stored of all the yet printed material in the world. So this chart shows you the growth of storage availability we have now in 2017 and will have in 2020. Another interesting fact is the expectations of the Internet of Things, the connected devices worldwide which are connected through the Internet. And we have an expectation of 2016 of 6.4 billion connected devices through LTE, through Ethernet, through Internet. And from this 6.4 billion devices, we have 2.4 billion devices in business. You can imagine how it affects you. These devices can be measurement devices or test devices anywhere all over the world, maybe located at your customer, not only in your laboratory. This short history comes along with the rise of the World Wide Web in 1990 to 2000. Two of the biggest now companies there in the World Wide Web, like Amazon, Google, started in 1994, but 1998, and the first breakthrough was the possibility to have websites all over the world to access information through the Internet. And one great thing was the invention of search engines and, for example, the e-commerce systems. But for me, I want to show you this point. Since 2040, we have an enormous evolution of artificial intelligence. You all have smartphone like the iPhone, and all of you know Siri, the speech assistant of Apple, or Cortana, the speech assistant of Microsoft. And this one is one of the most interesting technologies in the future to give all the software systems a little bit of intelligence to help us to do our work. Another point is more automation and more autonomous systems. You know the evolution or the development at Tesla for driving autonomously. This is only be possible with highly effective connected networks and highly effective algorithms. So the core technologies we see today is about networks, bandwidth. You know, we started with modems in the latest 80s with 300 baud. That was very, very, very slow. And now we have a broadband network at any point in Germany with 50 or 100 megabit per second and much more. And the upcoming of sensors and devices and actors connected through the Internet. And of course, the main platform for all this are very good evolved databases we find on the Internet and we find in our companies. And last but not least, the algorithms. And algorithms is the software to combine your data, to evaluate your data, to get knowledge of your data. But and the objectives we have is, when we look at Facebook or Google or Amazon, is to know your customer. This is where we get the benefit from to earn more money. And to know better your product. If I know more about my product, about my coatings, about my paints, like like it works in different environments, the better we can evolve our services. But what is the situation in the coatings and painting industries as far as we can find it at our interesting clients? The question is, where is the data? Sometimes when we talk to our interests, we find this situation. They have information spread all over the company, because the typical business applications we find here, we've divided it in sales and customer care, laboratory, QC, research and development, sales, production, logistic. You see, with enterprise relationship management or customer relationship management, something is done on this side, and with an enterprise resource planning system, everything is done on this side. But especially in the laboratory and the QC and research and development, we find a lot of paper. We find much Excel sheets because it's so flexible. We find customer-made databases like Access databases, of course PDFs, and laboratory information management system. But all of them has a disadvantage that all this information is not very well connected in your company. So what to do? When we go to our customers and we talk about the introduction of a new software system, we develop one, we try to consolidate all these data you find all over the company inside our LISI system. This is here displayed in orange. It integrates in the sales and customer care. It integrates to laboratory, QS, research and development. For example, for formula composition, raw material database, and of course the sample management and test management to all your raw materials, your product, to your processes, and integrated with a customer relationship management, because no one can help the customer better than a well-informed customer relationship manager. And if we go a step further, we see that we can integrate, or we should integrate all these systems you have in your company to build up a corporate company database where all your information are connected through the whole process. So we want to manage processes, collect data, evolve knowledge, and make daily work more fun. So we developed this workflow. This is a typical workflow we find nearly everywhere in the paint and coatings industries and in other companies too. Starting from the customer on the left side, excuse me that this is in German, this is from our presentations, we don't translate it yet. We didn't translate it yet. And you have some requirements of the customer you have to fulfill inside your laboratory. And the main point starts here inside the laboratory. All the documentation processes, the testing processes, analytics, all the knowledge you collect during the research and development or the quality management are collected in this workflow in one database and is connected with other information you have from third-party systems like SAP or Microsoft Dynamics or Navision or anything, any software you use to build up this corporate company database. And now we are able to use new useful devices. We started to develop the integration of mobile devices to LISI to give you the ability to collect your data on site of your customer or on site of your testing systems. You know, if you have a test scenario outside on field, you need to collect the data there, and you don't want to have a break by transmitting this data to paper or Excel and to import it into another software. So we integrate this special defined entry forms to collect data where there is their origin. And up to now, we have made a showcase with this quite nice device, this Microsoft HoloLens, is for augmented reality. So we developed a prototype where you can use this as a head-mounted display in the laboratory and to step through your formulation when you mix it inside the laboratory, or when you want to access some tests or raw material, you can use it there like Terminator in the early 80s inside this head-mounted display. And we are developing now on the integration of speech assistance inside LISI. So you have the benefit of having your hands free during your laboratory work. But imagine all the other data you can collect through your sensors or testing equipment inside your laboratory. If you don't put it only in an Excel sheet where it resides on a file server, when you put it to a database where you can join all this information together, maybe you want to know under which temperature, environment, circumstances you had some results of your lab formulation, then you can see it in such a database much more better than have it spread all over the server or some different Excel files. So what are the benefits in building such a digitalization database or corporate company database? One is to decrease the time to search and find relevant information. You can imagine if you want to collect all the data for a customer or some project, you have to look in Outlook, you have to look in Excel, you have to look in Access, you have to look in SAP. But with a corporate company database, you have one place where you can find all the information that are for interest for you. And the next point is also important, to avoid a loss of important knowledge. When you collect your data in a laboratory notebook, and it's a personal laboratory notebook, and when this guy joins another team or another company, then there is a danger of losing this important knowledge he developed throughout his work for your company. And if you have the difficulty to find all this information for a new guy in the laboratory, it's very difficult to go through your whole development process. And the next point is to have, with these new devices like tablets, a smartphone, or this Microsoft HoloLens device, to have information at your fingertips, always and everywhere. And I think what brings us to this point was in 27, the upcoming of the iPhone, which was a driver for the mobile connected networks. So we now have the opportunity to stay always online with all our connected devices. And last but not least, to extract new knowledge from this information you gathered with statistical evaluation of collected data. So some buzzword is statistical lab test planning or lab formulation planning, for example. But you can only do such development or such automatic development by statistics if you have enough data. Without data, you can't do anything by when you evaluate nothing, you get nothing. And if you have all the data inside one database and can do the relations between it, then you can explore new knowledge from this corporate company database. So these are the points that are important for us in Digitalization Industry 4.0. So let me say, enjoy your visit here at the fair. Have a nice time. And if you have any question, if you want to see such kind of software, such kind of database in work, you can visit us at Hall 5 at stand 5424. So I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Let me say thank you to you, and yeah, have a good time. Thank you very much.